officials have confirmed the first human case of West Nile virus for 2010.
The public health official says it was an elderly woman from Chico who is hospitalized with a neuroinvasive disease. That's the most severe form of West Nile virus. As of yesterday, only 7 human cases have been diagnosed statewide. Butte County mosquito and vector control officials say there are a number of ways to protect yourself from the virus.
So make sure their property is not breeding mosquitoes, remove all standing water, and make sure they're not overwatering the lawns. Second, the only way to get West Nile virus is by the bite of an infected mosquito. So if they would just safeguard themselves by wearing repellent.
Mosquito and vector control officials are still looking into where this case of West Nile originated.
New technology is helping patients at a North State hospital get access to the best healthcare specialists in the state. Action News reporter Britt Carlson has more on the upgraded telemedicine program at Oroville Hospital.
They saw the future way back in 1999, and they're still seeing the future.
The future of healthcare has arrived at the Oroville Hospital.
She's there if you want her to sit in.
It's one of just 4 sites around the state to receive the technology to participate in the California Telehealth Network, launched this week.
We're improving access to specialty care for our patients, and certainly we're providing specialty backup for our physicians.
2 machines like this connect primary physicians at the Oroville Hospital to dozens of specialists at UC Irvine and UC Davis.
It used to be just psychiatry. Now we have endocrinology, we have weight management, and I know Joyce has more specialists in the pipeline.
Oroville Hospital has been using telemedicine technology for more than a decade, but the new network is much faster and more reliable.
We have a far better picture. It's actually crystal clear, and the audio is amazing. We can send images that are very, very clear at the receiving end.
When rural doctors need a second opinion or assistance with an emergency situation, they switch on Barbara and log on to the network. I'm sitting up here where the patient would be sitting alongside what would be my regular provider, and the specialist would be sitting right there on the screen in front of me. And really, they just have a conversation about my medical condition and talk about it for over an hour and what our future plan would be. Joyce White knows the importance of this technology. It helped her reach the best endocrinologist at UC Davis when she discovered a lump on her thyroid.
You doing okay? You're doing well, just in general? Absolutely. Yes.
That connection helped White become a cancer survivor. From dermatology concerns to life-threatening heart disease, the best specialists in the state are just a computer screen away. In Oroville for Action News, I'm Britt Carlson.
Now, in 3 years, the network is expected to reach more than 800 sites.
More layoffs could be on the way for the city of Redding. The city council voted to cut $500,000 from the general fund budget rather than allow reserves to drop below 5%. $300,000 of those dollars, or 60%, would come from public safety funding, meaning police and firefighter layoffs. City manager Kurt Starman says the cuts aren't a sure thing just yet.
We'll be looking at reducing the budget, here in a few months, but we're not going to do that right away, and we'll have an opportunity to see how things progress for the next few months, both on the revenue side and expenses.
The city has cut 18% from its general fund budget since 2007.
Reading School Board President Rain Stolz resigned yesterday amid the controversy surrounding his wife. Wanell Stolz is a school librarian who was charged with embezzling more than $13,000 from Sycamore Elementary School and the school's parent club. She has since transferred to Cypress Elementary, but is now on unpaid leave pending the legal proceedings. Rain Stolz submitted his resignation yesterday and was not present at last night's board meeting.
Time has run out for the homeless living in a Reading tent city. Today was eviction day, with police busy cleaning up the area. As Action News reporter Elizabeth Gadley shows us, the camp may be gone, but not everyone has found a place to go.
Some of us were basically, prepared, but a lot of them weren't because they didn't have it. It's like hard. How do you get together? How do you get your act together if you don't have no place?
Ready or not, every one of the 20 to 30 people living in the South Reading homeless camp had to leave. Phaedra Ballinger is one of several people left wondering where to go and how to get there now that the camp they were living in is gone.
It's up in the air. I just had to focus on all this, because it was mandatory.
Even the ones who found a place to go aren't exactly out of the woods. They've simply moved to another encampment, something Reading Loaves and Fishes director Chris Solberg says is all too common.
There simply are no resources in the community. There's no resources in the state of California in a lot of situations.
When Reading police served notice last week, they brought a number of homeless advocates and service people with them. But come moving day, help was noticeably absent.
We were expecting more help. Even kind help, But we haven't seen any yet.
There's still quite a bit of cleanup going on, but for the most part, this is all that's left of the once bustling tent city. Community Service Officer Bob Brannon says despite the difficult situation, authorities didn't have any problems getting people to leave.
Everybody's been very cordial, and we've been trying to help them. There hasn't been any conflicts, to my knowledge, at all with anybody.
Police say it will likely be Friday before the garbage and debris is all cleaned up. In Reading, I'm Elizabeth Gedley for Action News.
The homeless camp was the site of a fatal stabbing last month.
Reading is loosening restrictions on medical marijuana clubs, but not as much as some had hoped. The City Council voted to allow the city's 18 collectives to sell non-flowering clones and let patients specify how much medical marijuana they need and lift the ban on tobacco at clubs. The council declined a number of other concessions, like permitting non-members to work in the clubs and letting kids in the sales area.
I think the changes are a good start, but I think they also need to address some of the growing guidelines that they have in Reading. They're pretty strict, and I know they seem to be against a lot of what SB 420 is for.
The City Council implemented regulations late last year after cannabis clubs mushroomed in the city.
First, she was arrested, accused of helping her boyfriend sell marijuana from behind bars. Now she's facing several charges, including child abuse. 19-year-old Rachel Hartfield pleaded not guilty today to those charges. She was arrested last week after she reportedly sold undercover officers 2 ounces of marijuana. Officers say Hartfield told them she was using the money to pay for Jimmy Flores' legal fees. Flores is accused of hitting and killing a Chico jogger last month. They also say Hartfield had an 11-year-old child in the car with her when she was making the sale to officers. She's scheduled to appear again in court for a preliminary hearing September 8th. Celebrity rocker and hunter Ted Nugent is facing a hefty fine after pleading no contest to baiting a deer in Yuba County and not having a properly signed hunting tag. A spokesman with the Department of Fish and Game says game wardens saw Nugent kill an amateur buck on a February episode of his Outdoor Channel TV show called Spirit of the Wild. Investigators found that the deer had been eating bait. Baiting wildlife is illegal in California. Nugent originally faced 11 charges, including killing a deer too young to be hunted, but in a deal with the Yuba County prosecutors, he agreed to enter no contest pleas to 2 misdemeanors and pay $1,750 fine.
The Butte Humane Society has found homes for several pets deemed less adoptable. It happened last weekend. The organization held a special adoption drive last week. Organizers say pets can be classified as less adoptable because of age, breed, color, or special needs. According to organizers, the turnout was better than expected.
The weekend was a huge success. We had 7 dogs adopted and 10 cats adopted that are considered less adoptable. And we also had 48 animals in total for the entire week that were adopted because of the press we received.
Well, organizers say the event was so successful they may do it again in October. And speaking of pet adoptions, it's Wednesday, and that means it's time once again for the Pet of the Week. Tonight we have Ramona, a loving 3-year-old domestic short-hair kitten. She has been spayed. If you'd like to take her home, give the Shasta County Animal Control Shelter a call at 245-6065.
Custom cars, classics, and tricked-out motorcycles will shine at this weekend's Willows Car Show. It's the 24th year for the show, which is also a fundraiser for local scholarships. It starts with a show and shine, a cruise, and street dance in downtown Willows Friday night. The main show is Saturday at Jensen Park with plenty to see for the whole family.
Yeah, we have idle riders coming in, and they do stunts. I think there's 4 of them coming. We have one local person that's going to be part of that show.
As many as 90 awards will be presented, including People's Choice. To find out more about the Willows Car and Bike Show, just log on to our website, knbn.com, and click on News Links.
Well, there's more news to come on NBC 24 Action News at 5:30.
I'm Stacey Johnson. You know, they say history is often rewritten, and it's true, especially when it comes to your credit history. Would you like to clean up that credit? I've got tips just ahead on Money Talks News.
You know those old weather history books? Climatology say it should be warmer this time of the year. We're going to change it tomorrow and get to those warmer temperatures. We'll see if that'll last through the weekend when NBC 24 Action News returns.